This segment sponsored by Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab.
I sat down with Dr. Paul Venturini, and guys, there's nothing worse in the fall and winter than, moving those pots and your back gets hurt. And so he's here to make sure that you don't hurt yourself while you're doing this. So take a look. The temperature has bounced from hot to cold recently, as we all know, but soon it will drop consistently below 50 degrees. And given that, it is extremely important for those who are active outdoors this fall to take the extra time to properly prepare their bodies to prevent injuries. Dr. Paul Venturini of Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab is here today to share some of the best ways to protect your back and joints during this upcoming cold season. Thank you for being here, Doc.
Well, thanks for having me. Yes. When the weather's starting to get cooler, the days are shorter, we know what's around the corner, so we really are trying to get outside, whether it's raking leaves, cleaning up the plant beds, getting the last round of golf in, pickleball, bringing the pots in, anything like that. We're going to be stressing our bodies, and with the temperatures being colder and being a little more stiff, arthritis, our chance for injuring our backs especially is going to be high.
And so how can people kind of warm up to get to do those things?
All right, so good question. So really, before we go out and attack those activities, we do want to get our muscles warm. We want to get our heart rate up. So whether that's a brisk walk, getting on a bike, getting on elliptical, doing some maybe stretching, strengthening exercise, anything that warms our tissue up, increase circulation.
Gets that blood moving.
That's right. That's going to help us to loosen up and be a little more pliable when we go out there and do those activities.
And then this question I'm kind of curious about. Do you recommend any stretches?
We do. So I think people think of stretching, but we also want to do some simple strengthening. So think of our core. So yes, stretching, think of mobility. We want to get our hips loose, we want to get our back loose, get their ankles loose. But if we do some simple like core exercises, so for example, laying on our backs, they call these dead bug tracks. They raise our arms up, raise our legs up. Anything that's going to engage the core, it primes these little muscles around our spine, these deep intrinsic muscles, to be more readily active so we stabilize our back, because we're going to be out there lifting, overloading, twisting, bending, and if we're cold, we didn't warm up, we're not lifting properly, then the chance for injuring our back is going to be high.
And what are some of the most common kind of injuries you're seeing this time of year?
So this past week, I've had a couple patients, older patients, are bringing their pots in. They lifted, it was too heavy for them, and they strained their back. So if they're on their knees in their plant beds, it could be knees, it could be shoulders, but most commonly it's going to be the back, the lifting, the bending, the twisting, especially if we're not used to raking the leaves or pulling in, lifting heavy pots. So we see a lot of back-related injuries.
I will have everything linked on newschannel20.com. If you guys want to get in touch with Advanced Center for Pain and Rehab, I will have all their contact info. But doctor, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.